I had a follow-up scan about a year later, and there was this tiny, tiny spot on the CT that my first physician who reviewed the scan said, "Oh, it's really nothing important. It's probably just some cloudiness." But I knew enough by that time to ask more questions and to have other people review it. And it turns out that it was indeed a spot in a lymph node under my arm. And a lot of my doctors thought, that just can't be. And some thought that maybe even it was a secondary cancer, like a breast cancer. And in some ways, that's kind of what we were hoping for, that it was just the garden variety of breast cancer versus a reoccurrence of esophageal cancer, because everybody knows that recurrences are tough to treat. They're tricky. They're, kind of conniving, and they can pop up at any time, anywhere, and they get harder to treat after you've gone through your first, several lines of treatment. So I was looking down the barrel at more chemo then, and that was really disheartening and overwhelming. It's not something I wanted to go through again. And I knew that that was kind of my only choice. And this was back in about 2015. And once again, my incredible team, who just kept looking under every rock, knew that immunotherapy was starting to be an option for melanoma and lung malignancies, but it had not been tried or approved by the FDA for esophageal cancer. However, my medical oncologist had my microsatellite instability, or stability for that matter, checked. And it turned out to be microsatellite high. And that's an indicator that patients will respond well to immunotherapy. So we were still looking at chemotherapy because, like I said, this was not approved for my malignancy. But I am so grateful that my oncologist had the wherewithal to keep pursuing these little threads that looked like they might be helpful. And he was able to get immunotherapy through compassionate care with the drug maker, since it was not yet approved. And that was a game changer for me, because I don't think the chemo would have been sustainable either from, a comfort standpoint, and it probably would have not worked long term. But the immunotherapy turned out to be the silver bullet, because it was able to retrain my cells and get me back on track, and to a healthy lifestyle. So that, at the end of the day, is what saved my life, and I am eternally grateful for that opportunity.